What does it actually take to reach the pinnacle of motorsport? And what do you sacrifice to stay there? This is your life as a Formula One driver at every rank, from kart racing anonymity through the brutal junior ladder all the way to championship glory. And the cost is everything you have. Here's what it really looks like.
You are 6 years old. The kart is smaller than your bicycle, but it is louder than anything you have ever touched. Your father straps you in. The 5-point harness pulls tight across your chest. The helmet swallows your head. The engine screams behind you at 11,000 RPM, and the whole frame buzzes through the seat and into your spine until your teeth ache. You do not understand horsepower yet. You understand the wall. You understand that the man holding the stopwatch is watching only you.
You push the pedal flat, and the world narrows to a strip of cold tarmac. And for the first time in your short life, you are faster than everyone older than you. You win. You climb out, shaking, your legs not quite working. Your father does not hug you. He kneels down, shows you the timesheet, and points to one number. 0.2 of a second. That is the gap to second place, and that is the only thing that matters to him now.
You learn the smell of two-stroke fuel before you learn long division. You learn that childhood is a thing other children have. You spend Saturdays at the track and Sundays rebuilding the engine on the kitchen table while your friends watch cartoons. By age 8, you have a coach, a data engineer, and a tire bill your parents pay in silence. A competitive season of international karting costs up to $200,000. Your parents do not have $200,000. They have a remortgaged house and a belief that you are different. Every time you lose, that belief costs them money they cannot replace, and you watch it leave their faces in real time. The feeder ladder above you is worth more than $3.5 billion a year, and not 1 cent of it is waiting for you. There are more than 200 children on that ladder at any moment, every one of them with the same belief, the same remortgaged house, the same father with a stopwatch. You do not yet know how few of them ever reach the top. You only know that you cannot afford to be one of the ones who do not. You feel the pressure before you can name it. You are 9, and you already know that if you are slow, the whole machine of your family stops. So you are not slow. You learn to read a corner the way other kids read a story. You learn that the brake is not for stopping. The brake is a weapon, and the latest possible braking point is the only one that wins. The cost of being good is that good is never enough. You stand on podiums taller than you are, and your father films the lap, not the trophy. You are building a resume before you can spell the word. Somewhere in here, on a wet Tuesday at a track in the rain, the karting child quietly disappears, and a product begins. Then one morning, the karts feel small. You are 15. The phone rings, and it is the call 10,000 kart kids never get. A regional Formula 4 team has watched your data. They have a seat. The seat costs $500,000 for a single season, and your father says yes before he knows where the money will come from. Now you sit in a real racing car. Wings that bite the air. Slicks that need heat to grip. A steering wheel covered in buttons you do not yet trust. The first time you brake hard, the belts cut into your collarbones and your stomach lifts into your throat, because this car can stop the way a wall stops, and your body has never felt deceleration like it. Formula 4 is the first rung where the dream becomes an industry. $500,000 to $1.2 million a season, and there are dozens of you, all 15, all certain, all expensive. Your parents sell the second car. They cancel the holiday they had promised your sister. You do not ask what else they sell. You are afraid of the answer. You learn that talent is the cheapest thing on the grid. Everyone here is talented. What separates you is whether the money holds and whether your neck holds. You train the neck now, every day. You pull a helmet against a resistance band, sideways, against the load, again and again, until you cannot lift your head, because soon the corners will try to tear it off your shoulders.
You score points. You climb onto the podium. And then your closest friend on the grid, the one who lent you a visor strip at round 1, crashes hard at the fast left-hander. The marshals run. He walks away. This time. But that night, you finally understand the contract you signed without reading. This sport can take everything, and it does not ask permission first. You learn to compartmentalize, because you have to. You see the wreck on the data screen, the speed trace dropping to 0 in 1/10 of a second, and the next morning, you go out and brake later at that same corner than you did the day before. The fear does not leave you. You simply learn to drive with it strapped into the seat beside you, a passenger you never invited and can never put out. You move up. Formula 3 now. The car has more downforce than you can feel the limit of, and the limit is exactly where the lap time lives, just before the moment it kills you. $1 to $2.5 million a season. Your father has stopped pretending the family can fund this. Now you need a sponsor. Now you need to sell yourself like a product on a shelf.
You learn that being fast is only half the job. The other half is standing in a glass office in a fire suit, smiling on no sleep, shaking the hand of a man who will put his logo on your chest in exchange for the right to own a piece of your future earnings. You are 17 years old. You sign things you do not fully understand, because the alternative is going home. The cars are faster than the reflexes you were born with, so you rebuild your reflexes. You are pulling 4 Gs in the quick corners now. Your vision tunnels gray at the edges in the braking zones. Your heart rate sits at 170 beats per minute for 40 minutes straight, and you have learned to call that a normal afternoon at the office. You qualify on pole at a famous old circuit, the kind your heroes raced. For one lap, one single perfect lap, you are the fastest person in the world inside that car. Then you walk back to the motorhome and read an email that says your funding for next year is not secure, and the fastest person in the world lies awake until dawn doing arithmetic. Formula 2 is the last room before the door. The car is brutal, nearly as fast as Formula 1 in the corners, and a season here costs over $2 million, with the top teams demanding more than 4. There are 22 seats on this grid. There are 200 drivers on the ladder behind you, all of them reaching for the same handful of openings. You learn the cruelest math in the sport, the super license. To even be allowed to drive a Formula 1 car, you must collect 40 license points across the 3 seasons before you apply, and Formula 2 is where most of those points live. Win here, and the door opens. Finish 4th in the standings, just off the points, and the door stays shut. And the next child with a richer father takes the seat you bled for. You are 20 now. You have been doing this for 14 years. You have no degree, no fallback, no normal friendships, and a body that has been engineered for one specific kind of violence. Everything you are, everything your family spent, is bet on a single number in a championship table that resets every winter. Your teammate is your enemy. He has the same car, the same data, the same engineers, the same garage. The only thing that separates your future from his is 0.2 of a second, the exact gap your father pointed to when you were 6 years old. You smile beside him in the team photo. You would not give him a toe on the last lap to save his life. You win the Formula 2 feature race. You stand on the top step, and the points push your total over 40. The super license is yours. And somewhere in a paddock you cannot see, a man in a team jacket writes your name on a short list of people who might be allowed, one day, on the right Tuesday, to drive the fastest cars on Earth. You become a reserve driver. This is the coolest rank of all because you have finally arrived and you are still nowhere. You fly to every race. You sit in the garage in full kit, helmet at your feet, watching another man climb into the seat you can almost taste. You are insurance, a name on a contract, ready to drive only if the man ahead of you gets sick or gets hurt. You spend a year in simulators. You drive 10,000 virtual laps so that if you ever get one real one, you do not waste a single corner of it. You learn the entire calendar by heart, every breaking point at every circuit you may never actually race. You are paid almost nothing, and you are worth almost everything. And the distance between those two truths is one phone call you cannot force to ring. You watch your friends from school, the ones who quit racing years ago, post photographs of weddings and first houses and ordinary Sundays. You are 23. You have never had a relationship that survived a season. You have given 2 decades and your entire family's savings to a sport that has not yet given you a single race start of your own, and you would not trade places with any of them. And that frightens you more than the cars ever did. Then a seat opens on a backmarker team, the slowest car on the grid. They do not want your talent, and they tell you so. They want your sponsors. You bring $8 million of backing to the table, and that, not your lap time, is the reason they sign you. You are now officially a pay driver, and you are now officially a Formula One driver. Both things are true at once.
You learn what 200 miles per hour actually does to a human body. Down the long straight, the car hits 320 kilometers per hour, and the air tries to peel the helmet off your head. Into the corner, you brake from that speed down to 80 in under 2 seconds, and the deceleration crushes you forward into the belts at 5 to 6 G. Your head and your helmet weigh 7 kilograms standing still. In that corner, they weigh 42. Your neck holds them there, lap after lap after lap, because you spent 10 years building it for exactly this load. Your vision grays at the edges. Blood pools in your legs. You keep your foot in anyway. This is the job you sold your childhood to buy, and you would buy it again. You finish 17th, dead last of the cars still running at the flag, and it is somehow the greatest day of your entire life, because you are here, in the smallest seat in the most exclusive sport on earth, wearing the suit, and most of the 200 children behind you on the ladder never made it through the door at all.
But the dream has a price you could not see from the outside. 32 drivers have died on Grand Prix weekends since the championship began in 1950. You know the names. You learned them as a child the way other children learned fairy tales. Senna, Ratzenberger, both killed at the same circuit on the same weekend in 1994, before you were even born. You climb into the car anyway, every single session. You score your first point, a single championship point, 9th place, dragged out of a car that has no business finishing 9th anywhere. The team radio erupts in your ears. You are crying inside your helmet, where no one can see it, and that dark visor is the only privacy you have had in 20 years of living your life in public. You learn that a backmarker can only climb if a better team happens to notice. So you drive every single lap like it is an audition, because it is exactly that. You drag a slow car to places it should not go. You outqualify your own teammate 14 times out of 14. And one ordinary morning, the phone rings, and a midfield team that scores real points wants your name on a contract. Now you are a midfielder. The car can finish in the top 6 on a good day with the right strategy. You are no longer surviving at the back. You are competing. But the pressure does not leave. It only changes shape. It is no longer, will you make it? It is now, why are you not winning? And that question comes from everyone at once, including the cold voice inside your own helmet. You learn the politics of the paddock. You learn that a brilliant result on Sunday can be quietly undone by a single sentence in a meeting on Monday. Your engineers love you on the weekends you score, and go silent on the weekends you do not. Your sponsors send long congratulations when it goes well, and on the bad weekends, send absolutely nothing at all, which is louder than any words. You stand on a podium for the first time, third place, champagne stinging in your eyes, the national anthem of a country playing, 90,000 people who do not know a single thing about your childhood screaming your name into the sky. Your father is down in the garage. He does not cry. He shows you the timesheet. 2/10 to the winner. Always, always 2/10. Then a top team comes calling. A car that can actually win races. This is the offer every child on every kart in the entire world is chasing. The 1 in 10,000 call. And it lands in your inbox on an ordinary gray Tuesday afternoon. You sign it without reading past the first line. And the moment you do, the standard that has ruled your whole life since age 6 resets one final brutal time. You are a race winner now. You cross the line first, and the whole world tilts on its axis. 20 years, several $1 million, a childhood spent at racetracks instead of birthday parties, every sacrifice your family ever made, all of it compressed into the single instant the checkered flag falls and your name sits alone at the top of the timing screen. You learn that winning once is not winning at all. The driver's history actually remembers won again and again and again until winning became ordinary. Schumacher won 91 Grands Prix. Hamilton won more than 100. One victory makes you a name people recognize. 100 victories makes you a legend. And the gap between those two numbers is the entire rest of your life, every Sunday of it. You become a title contender. Now every race is a war, and your war is with one man, your fiercest rival, the only other driver on the grid fast enough to take it from you. You qualify within 1/10 of one another, weekend after weekend. You race wheel to wheel at 200 miles per hour, neither of you lifting, both of you knowing that one twitch of a steering wheel ends a championship or ends a life. You learn that the rivalry follows you home and sits at the end of your bed. You cannot turn it off. You replay corners in the shower. You wake at 3 in the morning recalculating a pit stop from 4 months ago, certain you lost the race there. The sport has already taken your childhood, your body, your friendships, and now it quietly takes your sleep as well. And you let it, because the title is finally close enough to touch. You win the world championship. You are the best racing driver on the planet, the single apex of a pyramid 200,000 children are trying to climb at this exact moment. The trophy is heavy in your hands. The number 1 will sit on your car next season. Everything you ever sacrificed has bought you this one perfect, weightless, impossible moment of arrival. And the moment passes faster than a flying lap. The very next morning, the paddock is already talking about next year. A 19-year-old nobody has just won a Formula 2 feature race. The press asks if you can possibly do it all again, or if this was your one year. The standard does not stop for a world champion. The standard, you finally understand, never stopped at all, not for one single day. You learn that legend is not a trophy you can hold. It is a verdict, and it is delivered slowly, over decades, by people who were not yet born when you first sat in a kart. You chase records now instead of rivals. You want the rare kind of greatness that outlives the man who earned it, the kind they will one day measure new children against, before those children can even spell their own names. You become an all-time legend. They build statues of you in your home country. They name corners at circuits after you. A 6-year-old in a kart somewhere on the other side of the world watches a grainy video of your single best lap and decides in that exact frozen moment to give up his whole childhood the way you gave up yours, for the slim chance to feel what you felt for those few weightless seconds at the very top. And one day you stand at the edge of a small kart track, much older now, and you watch a tiny figure in an oversized helmet push the pedal flat for the very first time.
His father holds a stopwatch in his hand. The engine screams behind the child at 11,000 RPM. The child crosses the line and climbs out shaking, legs not quite working, and the father kneels down and points to one number on the sheet. 0.2 of a second. The gap to second place. The only number that has ever truly mattered in any of it. You watch the child's small face as he understands, for the very first time, that fast is never fast enough. And you know exactly where this road leads, because you have driven every single mile of it yourself, and you would not change 1 inch. The cycle continues.
If you lived every rank of this one, comment the life you want to inhabit next, the world you want to wake up inside tomorrow morning. Subscribe, because there is always another ladder, another apex, another childhood waiting to be spent. We will see you at level 1.